now. She's been 16.
Talking level. Today is October 17th, 2007.
Speed. All right. Well, speaking of
Cool.
October 2007, this is
Yes.
kind of an exciting month for you right now with this new release.
Yeah. Circle of Friends is my first authorized live DVD that just got released this month, and very, very proud of it. Here in Los Angeles, promoting it. Been all over the country promoting it the past few weeks, and it's getting a good response. People are very happy with it. It's a nice piece of work. I'm very, very happy.
Mm-hmm. And you say authorized. Does this mean there's been a lot of unauthorized live stuff, both with all your music over the years?
Hold on now. Can you just do me a favor? Just yank on your wire down just a little bit.
Yeah, is it popping up a little bit?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the Circle of Friends is the first authorized live DVD. Back in the 80s with the group Husker that I was in, there was a film shoot in London that wasn't supposed to be released commercially that came out. And I was playing on No Sleep and rented gear, and it looked a little funny. So this one was filmed in Washington, D.C. A couple of years ago with my new electric band, and it's very authorized.
How proud are you of this, and why haven't you done this kind of thing before?
I'm really proud of this piece. It's a great band. Brendan Canty from Fugazi on drums. Rich Morell, who's my work partner in a project called Blow Off in DC, our DJ night. Rich is playing keys, and Jason Narducci, who's a very old friend, great bass player and singer. Just a great group. In years past, very reluctant to go back and revisit the Husker Du and Sugar material with other musicians in that rock setting, and as time goes on, my opinions have changed, sort of reconciled my past a little bit, and feel more comfortable with digging those songs up and seeing how they sound with these guys. And I think it turned out well.
Talk about that period when maybe you weren't reconciled with that and what that was all about, and what did you have to get through to kind of make that easier for you?
Well, a lot of that is with Husker Du, that was a very specific time and place, and I thought that those songs in an electric setting were just best left where they were. Maybe out of respect to the past. Ditto for Sugar. When Sugar started up in '92, I didn't want to play Husker songs because I really like to keep people focused on the present. This time around, this was sort of a hole card that I had all the time. Where I think I didn't really envision myself doing this. In 1998, I told people I wasn't going to tour with a band ever again, and I sort of went back on that in '05, and nobody complained, and nobody's complaining about hearing those old songs. So I guess it's it just goes the way it goes.
You've always moved forward in lots of exciting ways
Yep.
over the years, and you've been great at that. Is it when you do the kind of thing like this, and you're playing these songs, you do a tour like this that ends up on DVD,
Mhm.
you're playing the old songs, is part of you always looking back, or when you're singing the songs, is it a fresh feeling when you're up there?
It's a pretty fresh feeling. When I'm playing these songs with the new guys, it doesn't sound like the old versions. It doesn't have that weird, oh my gosh, I'm playing those songs with somebody else. And over the years, I do a lot of solo performances, which is how I'm presenting I'm sort of accompanying the DVD tonight by playing a short solo set. And, I've revisited all the songbook solo throughout all the years. So, I've got it narrowed down to my all-time favorites as it is. And the songs always have a good meaning to me.
Mm-hmm. So talk about the fans that come out. You've developed new fans over the years. I'm sure you
Yep.
still have all the old fans come out. to the shows. What's an average show like, and kind of that mix, and who do you see out in the audience, and what's it like for you as a performer?
Well, the people that usually stick around to buy the DVD or get things signed afterwards, they always present themselves sort of the way I do as a fan. They come up and they say, my first show was 1985, 84 in Boston when, REM was opening for you or whatever. And so people always sort of identify themselves time-wise. A lot of people come up and go, I got into you through Modulate 5 years ago, or, through Sugar or whatever. So the fan base spans all the different eras of my work. And then there's people that are just coming along now, new people for the ride. So it's all. I mean, that's great. I always like talking to people afterwards and getting an idea of where they got on board. So it's fun.
Talk about some of the main things that keep driving you to do new music and keep touring, and you haven't slowed down at all. Where does the drive come from to keep doing what you do?
Well, I write music first and foremost for myself, so that I have things to listen to at home. I don't really have much else I do with my time. professionally. I just like to write music. I mean, that's I think what I'm put on earth for. So it's always it's always exciting. The tools for recording get better, the technology gets better, my vocabulary gets broader. Generally write about the same subject matter, about relationships and how people relate or don't relate to each other, and the things that go on in the world. It's a simple thing, but it's what I do. It's what I love. It's what I do every day when I wake up. So.
Talk about the title of this, which is obviously also the title of the song, and it kind of in some ways summarizes one, the people that come to your shows, and also maybe some of the themes you dealt with in the years.
Yeah, well,
music.
yeah. Circle of Friends was a nice title. It's extracted from the song Circles, which opened body of song, and it just sort of it was an easy title. It was sort of begging to be used, especially with something like this. The DVD has like a 15-minute sort of pre-show thing where the four of us in the band are talking about how we've come to know each other, and what the tour means to us, and what the work means, and it's nice. It's a very sort of homespun, just very natural feeling kind of thing. And that's what happens when you play with people that become your friends, as opposed to people that are just in your band or people that you just hire for a tour. It's really nice. All the guys get along great, and it's we're looking forward to next February with the new album, and next March with more touring. So it'll be great.
How busy are you? You say you're writing and doing that. Is that something that you're always doing? You're already writing, probably even for stuff that'll end up.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff for records and for the year's future. I have to write when I have the time, and I'm going to be very busy. I think starting at the beginning of the year, I think there's going to be a lot of promotion and touring for District Line, the new album, in February. So it's 08's going to be an exciting time, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
When you come here to LA or you travel around, do you have memories of the past when you first came
Yeah.
here with the band, and what things were like when you first kind of hit it here?
Yeah, remember the first time coming here was probably in '82 with Husker and SST's office. I think was down in Torrance at the time. 3 guys living in a room, running a record company, and everybody going to play basketball and eating 50-cent burgers and just trying to get along, and coming out here recording a lot of those. Zen Arcade was recorded out here, and Metal Circus, and great shows over the years, and a lot of friends still turn out at the shows. And it's always LA's a great place. It always has a lot of good memories for me. So.
You mentioned friends and people from those years.
Yep.
You developed a certain legendary status over the years. What's it like for you at this point in your career when people kind of talk about that, and people already look at you as like one of the godfathers of so many different movements over the years in rock and roll?
No, it's a nice burden to have. Sometimes I complain about it. I'm like, why don't you just talk about the new stuff? But then, it's a good curse to have, I guess, if you're gonna have one. I'm very grateful for it. So.
When you do something like this, though, and it does have the old songs that
Yeah.
people are going to look back, is
Yep.
it something you kind of let yourself go back a little bit with some of that stuff and think about it, or is this more for just to put out there?
It's more to just be done with it and move on to the next record. I mean, I know people had wanted this for a long time, and this one's sort of more for the other people. I'm very, very proud of it, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to do it again in March, so I don't need to see it again.
When you're doing something like an emotional song like Hardly Getting Over It, how did your life change over the years? What kind of things go through your mind versus like when you write that song? Do things take on new meaning now?
A lot of things changed in the last 20 years. From when that song was written to now. A lot of the things that the song addresses theoretically have come to pass, and then I have to reconcile it differently. And in the 20 years since that song was written, I don't know how many people have come up and mentioned to me, when their parents pass on, that's the song they listen to, or and it's very not at all what I had in mind when I wrote it. I wasn't thinking along those lines, and it means so. It goes to show, I think, that the songs resonate deeply with other people, and for me, when I'm performing, I'm just playing music. I have no idea what I'm thinking about up there. So.
Yeah. We'll talk about that actually kind of viscerally when you're just playing rock and roll and you're really rocking, because I've seen you doing this, and I was watching something on YouTube of you from over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Certain things are very much the same.
Yeah. You just try to turn. It's the time when nobody can get at you.
Yeah.
When life can't really get at you, and you just embrace the emotion that you're having at the time, and you You know, just try to give people something to believe in, give people something to hold on to, give people something that they can take home and remember, and you know, hopefully it's good. Hopefully my shoes don't come untied. You know, stuff like that.
Right.
Little things, but it is visceral, and that's, you know, I don't really have an answer for what it's like, other than it happens.
What are some, in terms of the future, what the future brings in terms of the new music? What haven't you accomplished? What would you still like to do artistically? Do you have?
Oh, I've still got my alcoholic blues phase. You know, I can always do that. I'm still waiting for my 50s for that. Maybe moving to Chicago for a few years and ending up on the street. I haven't really tackled jazz. Haven't really tackled country fully. I mean, there's a lot of different genres of music that I like and could learn from. You know, I mean, I go back to guitar music. I go back to pop music. That's, you know, I think I write, you know, fun pop songs, and that's, you know, I keep sort of cycling through that and trying to adding on, you know, more electronic flourishes, and, you know, messing around with different beats and different ways of constructing lyrics. I mean, there's a lot that can be done with it, you know. For as simple a field as it is, there's a lot that you can do with it.
Well, is that a time you want to challenge yourself? Because you can probably write a catchy melody in your sleep, I would think.
Scoring a film would be a challenge that I don't know if I'm quite up for yet, but, you know, a lot of people have asked me about that, and I'm flattered that they think of me. Maybe the right film will present itself someday, and, you know, be able to score and coordinate some music for film. That seems like it'd be quite a challenge. I don't know. I like the groove I'm in right now. You know, it's working for me right now. If it starts feeling stale, then I'll dart to something else, I'm sure.
You say all you do is write songs, but honest, what does Bommel do when you're not writing songs? What do you spend your time with? What are some of your other passions?
I've got myself very healthy in the past 7 or 8 years. So, you know, I spent a lot of time taking care of myself physically. I work on my yard at home. Very boring. Main thing is I have a very open house, and I like having my close friends over a lot for just to sit and have dinner. You know, to sit and have a meal. I think it's something that a lot of people in this day and age don't realize the value of that. You know, we're all in a hurry, and we've all got to just grab and go, and, you know, LOL and all that. And it's you know, that's all well and great, but, you know, to really sort of have experiences that lead me to these stories that become these songs that people identify with, you know, I have to do simple things and have real life experiences. And so the main thing is probably having people at my dinner table, you know, whether it's the one in the dining room or the one on the deck. You know, it's sort of what I look forward to the most when I'm not writing. So.
And as someone who's seen every aspect of this business, who started off about as independent as you guys can get, and then, you know, done the full major thing many different ways, and you're where you are now. What's your take on how things are right now, and what you've gone through just the last 20 years?
Business-wise,
or personally, just how it's affected you and what you see.
Well, the music business has changed a lot. I mean, you know, in some respects it's stayed the same. That it seems like the artists still get the short end of the stick most of the time from record companies, and you know, we've seen a lot of technological advances. You know, the last 10 years has been crazy. You know, what's happened to the business, and it's a little unnerving at times. I think, you know, I'm one of the few artists that is. Do you want to sort that before we continue?
We can pick it up from you're one of the few artists.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm one of the few artists that takes the unpopular stance of reminding people that, you know, music actually, it costs money to make records, and that there is, you know, it should still be for sale and not always free. And that is an unpopular stand to actually bring that up. I know a lot of artists like to do that steal it thing, you know, but, you know, it's not quite that simple. You know. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. Just lastly, since this, you know, talking moving forward, this is looking back in some ways. When you look back, what are some of the things that stand out in your mind as the greatest memories of you as a performer?
I think some of the really nice accomplishments. I think that, you know, sort of 18-month period with Husker Du, where there was, you know, Zen Arcade and New Day Rising and Flip Your Wig, you know, that a double album and 2 single albums in a 13-month period that was a nice run. That was a lot of good creative energy. You know, the 91 where I was, you know, on the road for 9 months doing solo acoustic shows, playing with Nirvana and Dinosaur Jr. and Sonic Youth, and, you know, sort of watching the war finally be won. You know, the 10 years of struggling to get rid of bad music, you know, Nirvana winning the war, and all of that songwriting period that led up to Copper Blue and Beaster, which, you know, are my favorite period, just, you know, as far as like making great records. The Time Around Workbook was nice, you know, after Huskers broke up, to just spend a year revisiting how to play and write music on my own terms, and for myself. That was nice. Past couple of years, you know, finishing up Body of Song and the new record District Line has been really fun, you know, just working at home on those records and, you know, sort of outsourcing drums and little things, but just being able to really spend day after day, you know, sort of crafting songs. That's, as I get older and travel less, that's been really fun too. So, been a lot of good times.
Good stuff. With many more to come.
Great, thank you.
Bob, thank you.
Frankie, how you doing out there? Is it getting there for you? You know, if there's a little bit more top on the guitar, for me, that'd be great. I'm on the cell line, right between the streets of mine, and a good wind from the traffic should blow me away. Oh, from this altitude, it was back to Joe, and to the golden sign, yeah. Oh yeah, I know it's left of me. It's like a sanitary song. Mississippi should wash me away, yeah. Oh, down the lanes, maybe someday in my dreams, well, I'd wake in the step from the dog in my mouth. Oh, yeah. Oh, carousel, like the hotel, my direction, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Feeling warm and if you've never been moved to die with the horns in the cave, silhouette standing on the edge of the Great. Thank you.